Hi, this is Tara and Donzer, and we're going to work on turn on the haunches. We have a problem with sticking that I can't always feel it, and I don't know if I can control it. But the first thing I want to do is just ask Donzer to pick up each of his legs. This is something that I taught him to do, and I'm continuing to do from the saddle as a way to kind of focus him in on his legs and also just get me focused in on his legs and feel what does it feel like when he picks up each one of these legs. And then I just think it helps with our communication process where he understands, that I'm talking to him and we are learning new things. You can see he picks up each of his legs. He's not stressed out or concerned about it, and it's not a big deal. So the first thing that I'm going to have to do is pick up the contact. And this is a process from the long rein coming up into the collected walk that I'm working on doing more and more with my seat. So instead of just picking up the reins and pulling with my hands, I'm kind of squinching each butt cheek as I go and saying, okay, give me your head, give me your head. And he's starting to give me the reins that way. So here we are in our walk, and you can see this is our big gargantuan walk. And it's a challenge to start to feel the smaller walk. So this is part of our challenge with the turn on the haunches, is that that walk feels normal to me. So when I bring the walk down into more collected the way it should be, it almost feels like we're not moving, and it's just such a different feel. It almost feels like an absence of feel compared to the big rock and roll of his normal walk. So I have my husband Chris out here watching and helping me actually, because I need someone to validate what I'm feeling. So you can see right here Donzer is definitely slowing down, and I seem to have a lot more control of the left hind than I do the right, because he'll take a short step or pause with that left hind where the right hind just continues to take these big steps. So that's just something I'm going to be aware of and keep working on. So we're going to start out doing some turns to the left, and we'll just do basically quarter turns. And again, my big focus here is not sticking and then also feeling it. So, I'm asking him to turn, and I'm also, the challenge with this is that you've got to keep that little bit of bend. So I'm using my inside spur a little bit to say, lift your belly up, because the lifting of the belly gets him to reach out and touch the bit and also get that little bit of flex at his pole. Because one of the problems that we find is I don't, like right there, see how he's counterflexed? I need to focus on keeping his jaw also flexed in the direction of the turn, and I kind of let that escape from my cross check at times. So it's, bringing all these pieces together. It's a fairly slow, controlled movement, but it seems like there's a lot going on because I've got to manage my seat, I've got to keep that inside hind stepping, I need to keep the bend in his body, keep his belly lifted, keep the flex in the pole in the direction of the turn, make sure that he keeps stepping and doesn't, he's still slowing down. That was a good turn, but he's still slowing down for the turn, and ideally I want him to just keep going boom, 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 boom in the same rhythm and just keep stepping, just with shorter steps. So this whole concept of how do I teach shorter steps, not slower steps. So now he did those pretty good, so I'm going to do two 360-degree turns to the left, and they're going to be pretty big turns, but again, I'm just trying to push the envelope a little bit here while I have my ground person to see if I can feel it and see if he keeps stepping. So this whole time it feels like he's stepping, but you can see that left hind as it gets really slow, I can feel that slowing down, and I'm trying to figure out, okay, what's the aid to say, no, 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 don't stick? Do I give him a little goose with the leg? Do I squeeze the butt cheek? Do I, what is the aid in that moment to say, keep going, buddy, don't quit on me? So I guess feeling it's the first step, and fixing it is going to be the second step. So he did that pretty well. So we're going to go to the right. And again, I want to work on these things, but in fairly small sound bites so that he doesn't get burnt out on it. So I do a couple, and if they're better than when we started, then we leave it for the day. So I'm going to do a couple of just kind of turns, quarter turns, and then some 180s, just to kind of get a feel and see how we're going. He's still taking, right here you can see the steps are just too big. So part of the challenge is it's not even at this point so much about the turn on the haunches as it is the collected walk. So by watching this video, I guess I'm starting to go, okay, I need to break it down even before turn on the haunches to actually go back to just getting our collected walk. So he took some big steps out to the right, but I kind of asked for that with my seat, so it's nice that he's doing what I'm asking. And then we're going to go ahead and take this to a 360-degree turn to the right. And what I do like though is he's listening, he's on the bit, he's rolling over a little bit, and that's where when he does that I need to give him the squish with the wrap muscles of my buttocks, my thigh, and my leg, and squeeze him up and say, no, keep going forward. And because you can see when I do it, he lifts his pole back up. So he's taking pretty nice small steps, but then there's a big step and there's little steps. So I just don't quite have the control. So those are some nice small steps, but then there's a big step. So I think that this is just going to be a matter of practice. I don't think there's a magic answer for this. It's just I need to get out there with my ground person and keep at it until we get the feel locked in our bodies.